Hey all, hello and welcome, Tony Bing here. For this guide video we will be having a look at the Science Division Specialist Crafter. Now I've got it at max level, which is level 20, so we can actually look at all the options she has to offer, and there are quite a lot. Now this particular crafter really is for end game gearing, and the three sections we'll look at in this video will be the artifact mods. We'll then have a look at the enhancements, and there's a lot to that section, and then we'll finish up with the miscellaneous section. But first off, we'll look at the artifact mods. Now if you've played the PC version of the game, these modifications are essentially blessings, and the way these work is you can add them to your artifacts. So we have 3 artifact slots, meaning we can have up to 3 modifications. You can stack 3 of the same kind, or you can actually mix and match them. Now you can actually transfer them between artifacts, so you need to be very wary of the fact they cost 100,000 credits and also a modification installation kit, so that's essentially 100 legendary marks. So for that reason I would only really recommend putting these on boss artifacts and cosmic boss artifacts, because they're ones you're guaranteed to continue to use with your build. Now if you look at what they offer, the first one's a defensive mod, offers defense rating, and all defensive mods also offer less damage taken from all attacks. We then have a utility mod offering spirit cost reduction, damage rating and health. Another defensive mod, this one is primarily deflect rating and it offers. Then an offensive mod which offers range damage rating and brutal strike rating, and all the offensive mods actually offer brutal strike rating. Another offensive mod, this one offering summoned ally damage. Utility mod offering spirit, damage rating and health. Defensive mod again, this one offers dodge. And the final mod we look at is the melee damage rating, and you can see it's got the brutal strike rating as well there. So the next section we look at, and there's a lot to it so you need to bear with me, so we go through it, is the enhancement section. Now before we actually look at these enhancements, and there is quite a lot to this particular section, I'm going to just quickly skip back to my gear. Now the reason for that is if we look at my inventory, now you have 5 slots, and I'm essentially going to number these 1 to 5 so the next section makes sense. So you have your offensive slot, which is slot 1, your bodysuit, which is slot 2, your belt, which is also known as your utility slot, which is slot 3, then your boots, slot 4, and finishing up you have another offensive slot, and this is your slot 5. Now if we go back into this vendor and we look at the enhancements, now this particular enhancement type is known as a utility armor slot item, so you would use this on your slot 3. I'm not actually going to run over what these particular ones offer because there's a lot of them and there's a lot in the tooltips, so if you want to read it just simply pause the video and you can see what it offers there. The one thing I will mention, if we scroll down, we can see these also cost a modification installation kit, so you only really want to put these particular enhancements onto a really good slot 3 cosmic that you actually have there, so you don't waste them, because again you can't transfer these. Now so we have another utility slot item there, and feel free to pause if you want to see what it offers. Another utility slot, this one called the Centurion Auto Targeting. And then we have something a bit different here. Now this would relate to slots 1 and 5, which is your offensive slots, and you would attach this to it, and this particular one offers let's see, it's 100 damage rating to summoned allies. Now if we scroll down we can see this doesn't actually require the modification kit, so it's a bit cheaper to use, so I wouldn't be too hesitant to put this one on your slot 1 or your slot 5. We then have another utility slot, this one's Density Manipulator. And then something different again here, I did warn you there was a lot to this section. This one is modifications that go on slots 2, 3 and 4, and this particular one would offer spirit rating there. And then we have Erskine's Formula, which is a utility slot item. And then we have, let's see, Kevlar Weave, so that would be slots 2, 3 and 4, you would put that on for dodge rating. And then another utility slot, Kilgrave Pheromones, I like the name of that one. And then we have Kree Dynamo, another utility slot armor item. Mass Intensifier, this would go on slots 1 to 5 because it's melee damage. And then pin particles, another utility slot item, quite a lot here as you can see. Then repulsor afterburner, another utility slot armor item. Shock absorbent plating, this one would go on slots 2, 3 and 4 for offering you up to a total of 450 defense rating. Then we have stabilized extremis, another utility slot armor item. And then we have targeting assist system, so this one would go on your slots 1 to 5 because it's offensive damage. It's offering the critical hit rating there, which is actually pretty nice. And then we have utility slot armor item, and this is Euro augmentation. And let's see, we now have slots 1 to 5 again, velocity booster. And then another utility slot armor item. And finishing up, finally, we have another one that would buff slots 2, 3 and 4. This would offer up to 600 health there. So the next section we'll look at is thankfully a nice easy one, and this would be the miscellaneous section. This particular section then is all about re-rolling the particular affixes on endgame gear that you have, and you would only use it on endgame gear because you can see it costs a lot of actual crafting materials, and the crafting cost is pretty hefty as well. So the first one we look at is Dimensionally Shift Artifact, and this allows you to swap the affixes on your artifacts to try and get better rolls on it. We then have the ability to replace all the affix values on a cosmic rarity medallion or ring. And then we can, let's see, this reconstructs a random cosmic effects on an artifact with another cosmic effect. So once you start to get cosmic artifacts, these can offer such things as damage rating or spirit and health, and this allows you to re-roll to choose what one you actually want. And then this particular one replaces all the fixed values on a cosmic rarity weapon or armour. So your slots 1 to 5, you can change the affixes there. And then finishing up, we have the Unbind item. Now in order to use this, it's actually a cash shop item, so you either have to outright buy it, or I believe they can drop in the Marvellous chest, which you can get as well. So this particular crafter, she really is quite interesting. There's a lot to her. Without a doubt, she is one that you would use for end game, whereas the previous crafter we looked at is more about leveling. This one's all about end game. I would just caution you to be very wary about what you actually attach these items to, because they can cost a lot. It would be very easy to burn through a lot of your legendary marks and credits here and come out with not much at the end of it, so do be wary of that. But overall, I hope this crafting video was useful. It was quite a long one. I can actually feel my voice starting to go, having to run over all the various options in it. So really, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.